Citigroup, they've been ordered by the SEC to pay a $180 million fine, alleging that they've defrauded investors. This charge comes from a 2002 to 2007 issue where the firm raised nearly $3 billion from 4,000 investors that allegedly lost the money when the fund collapsed in 2008. The SEC, a director of their enforcement division, this is what he had to say. Advisors of Citigroup, and I'm paraphrasing this, and their affiliates, they were supposed to be looking out for investors' best interests, but falsely assured them that they were making safe investments when the funds were on the brink of disaster. Now, Jose, this is a big deal because what they're alleging is that Citigroup actually committed fraud. $3 billion down the tubes. They knew that these investments weren't safe, that they were on the brink of collapsing. They did it anyway to collect the $3 billion. They ended up, and this is the kicker for me, they had to pay the SEC, not the victims, the SEC $180 million, drop in the bucket, slap on the wrist, no jail time, no prosecution, no other issue, and you know, that's it. It's done.
It's Wall Street that has this whole system rigged on its favor. And you ask, why is the SEC getting this money and why no one is persecuting? There's no one being arrested, no one is losing their job, there's no culprits, there's only victims. The victims, although you might think they're rich and they have money to invest, nonetheless, their money and they work hard for it and it's valuable, and they got defrauded by one of the major financial players in Wall Street, and they just get a slap on the wrist. Why? Because the revolving door in between Wall Street and the government and how they can easily move into one sector to the other and help each other out to make sure that, yes, public opinion see that there's something being done about it and they get this little slap in the hand, but they also help each other advance within the banks and advance within the government with these symbolic actions that really don't benefit anyone but this small group of 1%ers.
Right. Well, they were led to believe that the hedge fund itself was safe because they were hedging money altogether. You made an excellent point, but this wasn't from small-time mom and pops, you know, making $30,000 and $40,000 a year. These funds were sold in blocks of $500,000. So we are talking about wealthy investors. That still doesn't make it right. It makes it less of a, less of a horrific issue for me because, at least they had a little bit of money to them. It wasn't like they lost their entire life savings. That's right. But also interesting enough, we hear stories like this. It's like a blimp, or a blip rather. We don't even flinch anymore. We expect it.
Used to corporations being able to get away with what they do all the time. And
I'd love to be able to take $3 billion and not have anything happen to me.
If any individual will engage in defrauding a group of people by that amount of money.
Try $1,000 and see what happens on our end.
You see the banks and you see these financial institutions that can actually do whatever the fuck they want. No one is going to get them. They're involved in politics. They're involved in the lawmaking. They're involved in every little aspect. And I wonder, what does it take for the people out there to wake up and realize that we need to stand up and say, why do corporations get the most part of the cake and we do the most part of the work? I think that's something that we need to address.
Right. Well, Citigroup, they said that it was their advisors crafting the sales pitches to investors. So basically, they were washing their hands in effect to this. Smith Barney was the unit. They were acquired by Morgan Stanley Wealth Management in 2009. They were the ones responsible. These advisors, it was them, crafting that small fine print. And the SEC essentially said, you're relying on this fine print that nobody reads as the window out for you. We're not letting you out. But $180 million drop in the bucket. They should have had to repay the entire $3 billion to the investor, not the SEC.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very popular with the guys who do the donations for these people to get elected and for those people to be in position to be appointed to these posts.
Citigroup had one thing to say about this, and I'm quoting, "Pleased to have resolved this matter," end quote. So, they're glad it's over, and this will probably be the last that we hear about it until it happens again. But
it's happening. It might not come out just yet, but it's happening every day. These guys won't end it.
Right. We'd love to know what you think at home about Citigroup defrauding investors to the tune of $3 billion, getting that slap on the wrist. Who's really responsible? Was it just their advisors conning investors, or did Citigroup actually have a hand in this? Are they culpable? Let us know what you think in the comments below. While you're at it, be sure to check out the rest of our channel, and of course, subscribe to the Lip TV 2 for more.